All right, so let me introduce this webinar a little bit. So this is actually the first webinar where we will be screen sharing. And thanks a lot for everybody for joining. We are already live at Facebook. I see that people are already joining there as well, which is amazing. Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll be discussing how to use website personalization. Blah, blah, blah. It's a difficult word in e-commerce. So if you run a Woocommerce store, if you run a Shopify store, and if you basically sell anything online, well, this webinar is for you. And we prepared 5 topics with Sergiu we want to discuss. And first topic is why is it important to grow your email list in e-commerce? I know a lot of people are like, why do I need email list in e-commerce, right? But well, Sergiu will tell you why, and he will actually show you it as well, how to do it with Personizely, and also how to convince. That's the second point. How to convince visitors to buy in the very first few seconds, which is really important because people get distracted too fast and they have attention span of a goldfish. So we need to be really fast in creating that relationship with them so they buy fast. Third topic is how to use Personalizely in promotion periods. So if you are promoting something, you can use Personalizely in website personalization. Fourth topic is how to reduce cart abandonment, because a lot of e-commerce stores lose so much money only because people are leaving their stuff in a cart they actually picked but didn't finish the purchase. And the fifth topic will be website personalization for e-com, and Sergiu will be showing you like specific use cases. So thanks a lot everybody for joining. My name is Jakub, I'm CMO of PitchGround, and we are here today with Sergiu Cazac, and he's a founder of Personizely, a product you can actually buy for an amazing price on pitchground.com/personizely. Anyway, without further ado, Sergiu, I think we can start. I think we are ready to start. What do you think?
Yep, let's do it. Okay.
All right, so let's start with the first thing. Why it's important to grow your email list in e-com?
Yeah, a lot of a lot of people are asking themselves, why should I need to grow my email list, and why do I have to spam people with my emails and so on and so on. But the idea is that like only 2% of people buy from the website from the first visit. So you should at least try to get the email or any contact information you may be able to take. Maybe their messenger subscription or anything, so you can follow up them later with some promotion or some other materials you have. So I'm going to be showing how you can do this in Personalizely, and I'm going to be showing how to do this in a way that it doesn't scare your visitors, but actually makes them more engaging with your e-commerce store.
Amazing.
Okay, so what I'm going to be showing, I hope everyone can see my screen well. What I'm going to be showing is a basic example of a list building widget, and then I'm going to be describing the numerous options you have to customize it and to change it according to your needs. So I'm just going to go right away and create a list building pop-up. I'll choose a template. You can choose. We have 6 templates.
Can you go please a little bit slower? So what do you actually did right now? You chose from some elements
yep.
That you want to.
So when you create a list building widget, you can choose from 3 types of widgets we have for this specific case. So you can use a pop-up, you can use a bar which appears at the top or at the bottom, or you can use a pop-up or the call-out which appears in the corner. So for this demonstration, I'm going to go with a pop-up one. So once we select the type, we have 6 types of templates for the pop-up type of widget. We are constantly adding many more, so you can start faster. But for this one, I'll choose, let's say, this one. Then you can choose when you want the pop-up to show. So we have the landing trigger, we have the page scroll trigger, we have the time span trigger, exit intent, element click, element hover, and JavaScript call. I'm just going to go real fast through every one of them. So
Amazing.
The landing trigger means that the widget is going to show up in the same moment the visitors lands on the page, so it's going to appear instantly. It's not really recommended usually, but we still have this option, so if you want to do this, you can. Then we have the page scroll trigger, which means that you can show the widget once a visitor scrolls past 50% of your website. So, you know, he's consuming content, and at some point you want to feed him more content. Then we have the time spent trigger, which means you can show it after a delay in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to show it after 5 or 10 seconds. I think this is the one we're gonna use for this demonstration. Then we have the exit intent one. The exit intent is a very popular one. It's the one that triggers when someone is moving his mouse towards the top of the screen. So we are considering this as an exit intent, and we can intervene and show him a widget.
Okay.
And then we have the element click and element hover. So it's basically when someone clicks on some element, or when someone just puts his mouse cursor over some element. Also, we have the JavaScript call trigger, which allows you to call this customly from some of your JavaScript code. So it's for more advanced users, but could help.
Sergiu, I have a question. And by the way, if anybody has any questions, feel free to write them in a Zoom chat, or if you're watching it on Facebook, just in the comment section. And can I actually create multiple widgets like this? So let's say that I want to use one on landing and one on time spent. Can I use more, or can I use multiple triggers?
Yeah, for now you can, for one widget, you can only use one trigger. We are thinking of allowing to have few alternative triggers.
I mean, it's smart because a lot of marketers would just spam you with everything, like with the multiple widgets. So yeah. All right. So go on, please.
Okay. So for this one, we'll probably choose the time spent. Trigger, so I'm going to put 5 seconds and go next. Then we have to select the list. This contact, which submits the list building form, is going to go. So for this account, I have MailChimp connected, and I have a few lists. So I'm going to just go and select the blog subscribers. I'm going to select next, and then I'm going to choose a name, and I'm going to create the list building widget. So what you see now is our widget builder. So we worked hard on it, and we think it's one of the best out there. We try to make it as easy to use as possible. We have on the left side, we have the elements you can drag and drop and use inside the widget. We have some options of the widget itself, so you can configure it to look the way you want. And you're just gonna go through them a little bit later. Right now, I just want to really focus more on the list building side. So, and this is the working area. So, as you can see, we have a few elements here. One of the elements is the subscription element, where the visitor is going to put their email and send it to your email marketing system. So for this specific case, we have a submit action, and on submit, this widget is going to close. But in some cases, people might want to show some thank you message, or they want offer some discount if someone submits the widget as stated in the title here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new step. So actually I have one. Okay. So let me explain this a little bit. So in Personizely, every widget has a few steps. So you can go from one step to another. You can create flows. So for example, in this one, when someone submits, I'm going to switch to the first step again. So when someone submits the widget, we can change the step. And
that's really cool.
Yep. So in this case, as I showed here, you can say use a coupon and offer it to people who visit your website, so you motivate them to buy faster. So, but at least if they don't buy, at least you have their email and you can promote offers to them later. So it's like just a way to catch them into your net, and then the email marketing side of this is gonna do its job. So this is basically about the list building part itself. Also, we have okay, as you can see here, we have a few more automations which are being executed once someone submits the widget. So we have the Personalizely automation, which marks this widget as converted. So in your statistics, you're going to see that this subscription is a conversion. Then we have the MailChimp add to list. So it's also a next step is that is executed once a visitor submits the widget. For example, we have for MailChimp, we have a few of them. So you can add to list, you can add with confirmation to list, unsubscribe from list, add to segment, add VIP status, add interest, and so on. So you can do a lot of action, and these ones really depend on the email marketing software you're using. So we have a different set of options for different ones, but this example is going to be with MailChimp. And also you are able to, okay, I'm going to select action in Personizely, and you can mark it as converted, as I stated previously. You can send an alert to your email. For example, if someone subscribes, you can receive all the data about them and the event itself to your email. Also, you can execute a Facebook pixel or any other pixel out there. So just insert the code given here. So once someone submits a widget, let's say, you can know about this in your Facebook ads, and you can promote something to them. And then you can send a webhook. So if you have some custom backend or something where you can send a webhook which is going to receive all the data from the widget, you can use this. Also, this one is used for Zapier integration. So for now, you can use this to send leads through Zapier anywhere you want. Okay, so this is automations bit. And okay. Do you think I should go a little bit through the customization options, or should I focus more on the use case itself?
I would focus more on the use case, maybe on how exactly like I can use this in a website personalization. How can I personalize these widgets for specific customers, for example, or something?
Yep. I'm gonna dive deeper in that too. So okay, this is the builder itself, and this is the first step. On the second step, which is the display options, you can choose actually who and when sees this widget. So the first show widget on, the trigger we already discussed, and I hope it's clear enough. But then we go to something more interesting. So we have the targeting options. So right now, this widget is going to show up to all the visitors, but we can choose who sees it. So say here we can select from a list of existing target, but I'm just going to go and create some target. A target is a set of visitors segmented by some set of properties. For example, geolocation, visit history, referrals, selector, query string, UTM parameters. There are like lots of them. For this tutorial, we can use, for example, let's say we could use the UTM parameters one, and let's say we are going to have the campaign pitch or source PitchGround. Okay, and campaign webinar. So we're going to have this widget target saved, and we're going to reload the targets, let's say, and we have the webinar target. So for this setup, this widget is going to only show up to the people who have the UTM source parameter PitchGround as the UTM campaign parameter webinar. This way you can really just choose to show specific widgets to specific audiences. For example, if you promote some coupon in your ads, or maybe on Facebook or somewhere else, you can only show this coupon to the people that you know just came to your website for this exact coupon. But if you don't want to show it to someone, like to some specific audience, you can do just as that. Also, you can use, like, let's say the location one. So, for example, if you have a free shipping on subscription, so if you want to take the email to give them free shipping, but you only want to give this to a specific set of countries or regions, you can use a location filter. And it's just, there are a lot of like use cases you could do this with, but I'm just going to cover the most like basic ones. It's really more about how your business, how your e-commerce store works, and what do you sell, where do you sell. But in the end, you can use like a lot of you can use a lot of these filters to like create different widgets, which are really personalized and appealing to every customers.
Opportunities are endless.
Yep, definitely. So if you mix this, I think that you have hundreds of combinations. And then we have the pages section, where you can choose on which page you want it to run. For example, you want it to only run, let's say, on products all, and this widget is going to only show on this page. Or for example, if you don't want to show some promotion on a page of some, let's say, category, mobile phones, if you have such a page on your website, you can just make it like this, and it's gonna show based on these rules. So you can use either one of them or both, any way you like. You can also use, let's say, products and asterisk, so it's gonna match everything after the slash. So if you have some, let's say, products you want to show it on the product pages, you can just use it like this with after asterisk. I think we have this covered now, help desk too, so I think any questions are welcome too. So then we have the frequency one. So as I stated before, it's very important to make your widgets not annoying and to make them like not show up too often, so people don't get nervous. For example, when you got some websites, you only show widgets pop-ups everywhere. You should be very careful about when you show them and how often do you show them. So this one we have set up always show, but we are going to change this. We're going to say only show it once every 1 hour, let's say. So for example, if I see this widget once and I don't convert, I'm gonna only see this if I just come to the website in 1 hour, or if only after 1 hour of browsing. So this is a really important option. Just make sure to use it every time, because sometimes you just switch pages on some websites and you always see the same pop-up and you don't want to opt in.
You said interesting thing. It will show only if you don't convert. So if I will just put in my email address, it won't show again. Is it true?
No. So the idea, so this next bit is set up in the next section. So
right. Okay.
So you can stop showing it at all after the conversion. So you can never stop showing it, but you can stop showing it at all after the visitor converts. And the conversion event, as I said, is, I'm just gonna go and show it again. So this one is a conversion event. You can have markers converted on a button or on a form. So for example, if someone clicks through a button, you can also, I'm just gonna show a quick example so it's clearer. So if we add a button and we can make it mark as converted.
Okay.
So this is gonna also be affected by this after convert. And also you can just stop showing after a number of visits. So if someone sees it like 5 times, okay, I think it's enough. So maybe he doesn't want to convert. Yes. So this is the frequency section. I think it's pretty straightforward. We actually are working a few more enhancements here, but right now that's it. Also, we have the scheduling option. So, for example, if you have some time promotion, some Black Friday, or maybe some weekend sales, and so on, and you want to only show the widget during a specific period of time, but you want to activate it prematurely, so you can select the scheduling option. So you can say, let's start on, let's say, 4th of July, for the Independence Day in US, and end on, let's say, 5th of July at 1 o'clock. And we set up the start and the end date, and you can also choose days to skip. For example, you can disable this, but you only want the widget to show up on Monday and Thursday. So you just select the days to skip, and you have only Monday and Thursday the widget is going to show up. So these are the scheduling options. So it's really important for any kind of widget, but for the list building one specifically, because very often you want to show the list building widgets on the landing. So when someone just lands on the page, he doesn't know your site. So you should be should make it in a way that it's really relevant. For example, if we use the scheduling options for some holiday, it's relevant. But if you have a 4th of July widget which shows up on 10th of July, then it's not really good. So be sure to take care of all these little things, which will make your website look better in the eyes of the visitors.
Sergiu, we have a question. How effective is this with Woocommerce?
How effective is, can you please come again? I didn't.
How effective is this with Woocommerce?
It's going to work just on any website. You just have to set up it properly, and it really depends on the way your unique value proposition. Because, for example, in this widget, as an example, you have $10 of the first order, so you can, for some of your campaigns, for example, give 10% of the first order. For other, let's say, campaigns, or maybe for some regions, you can give away the free shipping. Or maybe sometimes you want to just give some % discount. So it really depends. You really have to give something in return, because if you show a widget, a list building widget, when the visitor doesn't really know what you have to offer, he's not really gonna subscribe right away. So maybe if you don't have something to give in exchange, maybe you have to wait for the visitor to explore your website a little bit and understand what are you offering. Let's say maybe there's it's something he's really interested in, and he just doesn't need something real like a discount or anything to subscribe, because maybe he's interested, let's say, in furniture, or maybe in fishing, or maybe in sport nutrition, and so on and so on. So my recommendation would be, if you want to show a list building widget right away on page landing, or maybe a few seconds, the best is to give something in return. But if you're not going to give something in return, just wait until this visitor is visiting a few pages. This actually you can do using targeting. I'm going to show how. So we have the history visits, and you can use visited more than 4 times. You can even say, okay, the product pages. So this way you can know that this visitor visited a few products and is really familiar with your website, but but maybe he's not ready to buy. So it's good to get his email.
That's really nice.
Offers later.
Yes, Sergiu, we have a few questions here. Is this GDPR compliant?
Yeah, we have actually, like, from GDPR compliance actually comes from like when you are the data controller and when you are data provider. So In our case, we are both. So as a data controller, we have everything on our website, which status, how we take care of the data, and so on and so on. But for you to be compliant, you have to just use the guidelines that are set up by GDPR. So you have to make your message in your form clear. Like, for example, if you have the form, here we have the subscribe text. If you use subscribe, it's well enough because the visitor understands that he's subscribing to a list. But if you're just pointing OK here, it's not enough. So for this one, you'll have to, or maybe if you write reveal coupon, in this case, you're gonna need to state it clear via text or via, let's say, we can use different type of form. You will have to
I get it. So basically, basically the point is that whatever you are promising needs to be very clearly stated in your copywriting.
Yep, definitely. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so we from our side are giving you all the possibilities to be GDPR convenient, like compliant, but it's in the end you have to do everything right yourself.
All right, amazing. So we have another question here. Can we export and import campaign settings?
You cannot really import and export campaign settings right now. One thing that we plan is to give the possibility to save a few of these elements. For example, if you design one of these elements, you can save it and reuse in a different campaign. For now, you can do this just by cloning widgets. So we have the clone option, so you can just clone a widget.
All right. So you are basically answering the third question as well, which was, can we duplicate campaigns? So you have cloning feature. Yeah, all right, Sergiu, I think we can move on to the second step, and I think we should maybe a little bit speed it up. But thank you for taking it so thoroughly, because it's amazing to see what Personalizely can do. And the second step is how Personalizely and how website personalization can help us to convince visitors to buy in the very first few seconds. What can we do?
Yeah, so as I stated before, it's really important to catch the attention of the visitors real fast. So for this, you'll need to have some unique value proposition, and sometimes you don't want to use a list building pop-up. Maybe you don't even want to build your list, but you still want to motivate your visitors to buy. So for this, we recommend using a bar widget. So a bar widget is the one that appears at the top, and we recommend to just state why the visitor should buy from you and not from someone else. For example, I'm going to create a bar widget. Okay, let's screen again. Here we have a few templates. For example, I'm going to choose a free shipping one, because the free shipping is very often a very important factor when making the decision to buy, because you never know what's the shipping up until you are at the end of your checkout, and when you see a too big fare, you don't want to buy. So using bar widgets, you can create just any value proposition on your website. And also, I'm just actually going to show you how it looks. And actually, it doesn't really have to be only free shipping. For example, somebody just offers free returns. This is how it looks. It's live right away. So you just don't really have to. We have, you can use, like, for example, the fact that you accept PayPal, because it's important for some regions. For other regions, you can say that you offer 0% credit. For other ones, you can say, as I said, like, you give free returns. Actually, you have.
So it all comes down to if you know like what motivates your customers, and there's the that's a good idea to put into the top bar. And can you actually show how it looks on a smaller screen, how it looks on a mobile?
I'm not sure I'm gonna be able, but let's try. For this one, we're gonna have it like this. I don't think this is.
No, it needs to be on phone. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I think it's.
No, this will work fine on the phone. It's fine.
Image, but maybe if we edit this image and make it like this. So actually, for making it mobile friendly, you have to play a little bit with the sizings because.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that you can make it look good on phone. Yeah.
For example, I can just.
It's amazing. Okay.
It's gonna be okay.
All right.
Actually, you can create different ones. For example, if you want a fancier design on your desktop, you can create one for desktop, and in targeting again, choose a device, and here you can select mobile, and show a simpler one like this one I created on mobile. You can just remove the paddings and everything, so it looks compact. And you can create a bigger one, like a one which is with more elements, with more images and so on for desktop. So it's something we actually recommend because you have much more space to play on desktops than on mobile, design-wise. So keep it simple on mobile and make it something fancy on desktop. That's my advice. So, and also talking about this unique value proposition, selling proposition is the fact that you can target by UTM parameters, by geolocation, by campaigns, by referrer, and so on. So you can show different unique selling proposition to different audiences. So, but one thing you have to know is you have to learn what each of these audiences really need and what is going to push them a step further to make the buying decision. So
amazing.
I think it's mostly all on the unique selling proposition. That's all at this point. If there are some questions, I'd be happy to answer now, or we go to the next point.
All right. I see, Dane, I see your question. We will answer it a little bit later. But let's move on to how to use Personalizely in a promotion period. So let's say that I'm promoting something. All right, so it's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever it is. So how can actually Personalizely help me to sell more and make more money?
Yeah, so again, for this one, I'm going to create a widget. For example, for this one, I'm going to create custom one again. And I'm going to select the call out one because, for example, in my opinion, these are one of the best ones because they are not really interfering with your browsing activity and they are just showing in the corner and you can easily hide them. And I'm going to create a call out widget. We have a few templates here too. I'm going to just use one created specifically for promotions and sales. I'm going to make it show up. Let's say on page scroll, we can make it 10%. And let's say flash sale webinar. Okay, we're gonna create this one. And here it is. So basically, it's the most popular way to promote in e-commerce. So every store has often a seasonal promotion. Sometimes they have stock liquidations. Sometimes they have different holiday related discounts and so on. So for this one, you can also use all the abilities Personalizely gives you to create a promotion. So in this one, as you can see, we have an image stating that we have 70% off. You can also position this anywhere you want, right here. And this way it's going to appear in top corner. Let's make it here. Okay, so, and also as you can see here, we have the countdown timer. So you can easily select it to show for time from the first display. So you can choose, say, 2 hours or half an hour from the first display. Or you can, for example, when, let's say you have a sale for 1 week on all your, I don't know, other products, and you just select it to show up until 10th of July. So as you can see, we have the selector, like the countdown timer stating that the sale is going to end in 8 days, 23 hours, minutes, seconds. And you give the ability to go learn more. So for this element, I'd recommend to add the mark as converted option. So you know that this widget has done its job and you can not show it again to this visitor. And in terms of promotions, the best things you can use are like the countdown timer, and also you can use the scheduling options as stated before. So you can just plan your promotions for the whole year ahead. You just schedule your widgets to show up on different intervals. That's basically most what we can say about promotions. Of course, there are a lot of things you can promote. It really depends on what you sell. If you sell cosmetics, you can give gifts. If you sell courses, you can give a free course, or maybe you can give one course free if you buy one, stuff like this. So basically, you have to figure out your unique proposition yourself. But to our side, what we are trying to do is to give you the most of flexibility to do that, to do so. You can even include, let's say, a coupon writing here, so someone can use it without clicking or anything. So you just say, okay, use coupon sale 70 and for 8 days, and you're good to go.
And I can set this like separately for mobile, separately for tablet, and like I can use different promotions based on the device.
Definitely, yes. You can even select the operating system. So if you, for example, are selling AirPods at discounted price, you can target iOS users, so you can sell it to them. We had some customers who were selling phone cases, and they were targeting by the device type to offer the right phone case, yes, and they were offering like the second one for free, and they were using similar promotion widgets. Yeah, so actually,
that's so cool.
you have to be a little bit ingenious to think of these little things of how you can target your traffic. How can you extract the information from what you have?
All right, that's a really cool info. All right, so we are almost at the end, and one of the last points we've written here is how we can use website personalization, more specifically Personizely, to reduce cart abandonment. So whenever people put something in their cart and they leave without a purchase, what can we do about it?
Yeah, so this is really more not about like website personalization itself, but it's just one thing that Personalizely does really well. So you can create a cart abandonment widget using our wizard actually. So it's pretty easy. So we have a lot of like options. As you can see, we have 8 steps. I'm gonna go through each of one of them. So each step changes the widget behavior a little bit. And in the end, you are most definitely going to have something that is going to help you. So you can, for example, for the cart abandonment widget, you can offer a discount or just remind the visitor that he has some items in his cart. So for example, the cart abandonment widget, how it works. It works when you try to leave the page. You just move your mouse up, but you have something in your cart. So it works differently for Shopify and non-Shopify users, but it can be done for both of them. So you can use this for any e-commerce store, basically. But for Shopify, it's a little bit different, like the way you implement it, but it works equally well there and there. So in this one, we're gonna offer a discount for someone trying to abandon the cart. And here we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna use the coupon bundle, or okay, don't leave, please. Okay. Yeah, so we use this coupon. Okay, sometimes you just want to offer the coupon, or sometimes you want to ask for email, because even if you give them the coupon, sometimes they are not going to buy right away. Maybe something is going to scare them up, or maybe they're going to get distracted. As we said before, the attention lifespan is very, very low, and people are really just navigating a lot of websites. Maybe they are living to see if the price is better on some concurrenting website, and so on. So it's really important to intervene at this moment. And for this one, we can, okay, ask for the email in order to give the coupon. You can add the email to some list. And then you can reveal the coupon in the pop-up, or you can redirect to the checkout page. So basically, when someone clicks the form, you can choose what you do when someone submits the form. You can redirect to some page. You can switch to a step inside the widget. You can just close the widget, so it's really flexible.
Okay.
We're just gonna choose reveal the coupon in the pop-up, and also you can use the urgency here too. So it's a good thing to show the visitor that this coupon, for example, is gonna only be available for the next 30 minutes. So you kind of push him to make the decision faster. You can even make it, let's say, 5 minutes. So he has to think fast and take the decision. Then we're gonna go and choose a style. We have 4 beautiful pop-ups here. Let's use this one. Let's choose a name, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this is also a pop-up in our
I love it.
Yep. And here what we are offering 10% off if someone finishes his order now. To get the coupon, you have to give your email, and we have the urgency bit where we are showing, okay, it's going to expire in 5 minutes. I'm going to show you the display options real quick so you understand how it's set up. So we have the exit intent trigger. It has a sensitivity, which is actually the number of pixels from the top you want it to trigger. So if the mouse is 20 pixels away from the top, it's triggering. Then we have a target created, a custom target, which says that the visitor has items in his cart. Actually, this you can do in a few ways. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So for the Shopify users, it's pretty easy. You just select cart size. Visitor has more than 1 items in his cart, and you're good to go. But for people who are using like different CMSs and different other platforms, you can just do it this way. So on your website, you usually have this indicator, as you can see, that someone has, in this case, 6 items in his cart. And what I'm doing is I'm selecting the selector. This is the ID. This is a little bit developer-wise, but it's really easy, and we are actually helping people set this up if they need help. And you can select the selector filter. Select cart count is higher than, and select 0. So in this case, we have the target. We're going to call it as items. So this target is going to work with any platform, and you just have to have this little indicator. So then you know that when someone leaves, he really has something in his cart, and you want to motivate him to buy. So And also, I'm just going to show you the second step real quick. So we have here on submit, change step, step 2. And here we're going to switch the step. And this is the step. Okay, we have don't leave me please coupon and everything else just like this. So it's how the flow was set up for this one. But as I said, you can use it for just anything.
All right, we have a few questions here. Can we set up our own cart abandonment flow, what to do, when to do, and so on, or are those 8 steps really strict and we need to follow them?
Good. It's a good question. I wasn't clear enough, I think. So basically, you can always, when you have some really custom flow, you just go and create a widget, select custom. In this case, you select the pop-up, and you can even select this one.
I see, okay.
Template, but you can set up it in any way you want. So you just, you can even show it on landing whenever you want. So
all right, so it's similar like with ClickFunnels, where you can choose the full funnel, or you can build it from scratch, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
yeah.
amazing.
This will have a custom option, yes.
All right. When it comes to email integrations, does actually your platform send emails, or does it work with the third-party integrations such as MailChimp, Aweber, ActiveCampaign?
No, we don't send emails at all. The only thing we do is we send alerts. We have the alert option, but from the other standpoint, you just
so it works well with third-party software such as Aweber and okay. Yep. So anybody who will just put in their email into coupon section, they can actually fall into a coupon list in Aweber, right?
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. All right. There was a question about what happens if we cross the limit, and because the licenses we sell, they have some limitations. And there are basically 2 options what you can do when you cross the limit of requests. First, you can buy more codes now, or if you cross the limit in the future, we'll be offering 40% discounts on the payments. So you can buy in the future for a cheaper price if you already purchased. But I recommend buying more at this time, because basically it's smarter. Anyway, last question. Oh, not the last question, but one of the question is, do you have some upvote thing where can people upvote the requests, upvote the features they are interested in, or are you building it?
Yeah, you mean if we have a roadmap where people can?
Yeah,
that's something we are actually setting up right now. So
okay, amazing.
Something like this, because we actually have one internal, and we just.
And the question, can we add dynamic variables such as name into the widget? So if we don't want to ask maybe only for email, can we ask for a first name as well?
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure if you got it right, but let me show a quick example real fast. So you can have a form with the name, but so you can choose different fields. You can actually create custom ones and so on. But if you, for example, show this widget to someone who already opted in, you can include match tags like this, and you can say, okay, first name for you. Okay. So it's gonna say, for example, for me, hey Sergiu, 10% off for you. Okay, so this way you can personalize the messaging for people who, let's say, bought in past, or maybe you opted in past, and you know their name already. You can take a more personalized approach to that for them. Yes.
Amazing. All right, so you've shown us so far 4 things: how to grow email lists, how to convince people to buy the first few seconds, how to use personalized in promotion period, and now also how to reduce cart abandonment. So the last but not least is to show us some use cases, like specific use cases for website personalization of Personizely in e-commerce.
Yep. So actually, I'm gonna do that. Before that, I just wanted to show a few of them. How are they working like in real life? Because I didn't really show it, and I'd like people to see how the things that we built up until now are working actually in live. So it's what I want to show. So we have it on page scroll at 10%. Okay, so we have this one. Effective.
So you are saving everything up right now to make it work. Okay. Okay, so there's the top bar. Oh, that's cool.
Yep, and here is a widget. Actually, the color kind of mixes up, but you can choose any color you want. And also, let me check how the cart abandonment widget is set up, because I played too much with the options, and I'm not sure it's going to show up. So let's see. Okay, I have the options like this, like this. Okay, let's activate it and see how it works. Let's go to the website. Okay, I have six products in my cart. And now if I'm going to try to leave the website, okay, nothing happens. I have to wait a little bit for it to propagate. I think
you did so many things there. I think that you maybe forgot about something.
Yeah. Maybe I broke it somewhere.
Yeah. You were showing everything.
Yep. I just, you can see, yeah. I tried to exit the page and it just showed up, and I'm just going to submit it. And this is
that's so cool.
Oh. Yep, it looks
very nice.
So sometimes widgets need a few seconds to propagate through the sequence, so it's faster.
Okay.
So this I just wanted to show it a little bit. So now we go to website personalization for e-commerce. So basically, as you use widgets to implement different scenarios for different visitors, the same you can do with the content you already have on your website. So for example, if someone is coming to your website through a specific campaign, let's say you are promoting some specific category of products. For example, if you have an electronics store and you have a blog post somewhere, or maybe an influencer post with laptops, you can personalize the main page, for example, your banner, your first products, to change accordingly to this. For example, if someone comes from a laptop article, change the products on the main page to laptops using website personalization, as I showed you previously. So I'm just going to go quick and show you a quick example we actually have set up on our demo store, but I'm going to create it from scratch. So I'm going to show you how the store looks right now. So right now we have the iPhone X here. So that's the default banner. And okay, banner, and start building. So what I want to do in this demonstration is, okay, let's do it like this. Okay, I want to show, I have a target specifically created for mobile users, and also, okay, for mobile users. And I want to show them, instead of iPhone X, I want to promote AirPods. Let's say, let's make it like this, AirPods. Let's edit this. Simple, and I don't do
Light.
Okay, so we changed this, and also for this exact banner, we can also, it's a little bit more complicated, but you can change the background image. So we have the HTML attributes here. You have to be a little bit tech savvy, but it's really easy. So you just change this little URL here, and you apply, and you have the AirPods here. So as you can see right now, for the mobile users, you are going to see the AirPods ad, and for the Okay, let's add enumeration for the desktop ones. Like for all the other ones, you can see the simple iPhone X. So this way you can personalize just anything on the website. So you personalize this text, you can change these products. So it's really important again to know your audience, to know where people are coming from and what are they interested in. And based on that, just go in and change bits on your website just like this. Don't try to do something too complicated. Just change the text, the image, and the URL where needed. For example, for a product, you're going to need to change the URL to be able to redirect the visitor to the right page. So I'm just going to do that like this. And you can you did this, you have the URL, you can see. You can change the URL, you can change everything. So this way you can change these products to match what the visitors would want to buy. If you are a little bit more tech savvy, you can change the HTML directly. For example, here it's not so hard to change the text. For example, say here AirPods 2 and apply. Okay, it's something hidden, but you can change the image here, like the href and so on. So it really depends on the website, but you should be able to personalize just almost anything. We are actually working to improve this personalization builder to make it simpler for non-tech savvy guys to personalize easier and easier. And we are actually constantly looking for feedback and listening to it to improve it. But the point is, as I said, just start with something simple and go from there.
We have a question here. I'm not really sure if I understand it, but I will just read it out as it is. Hi, is it possible to add name of a person who is visiting from Facebook using syntax in widgets?
Yeah, I think I understood the question, and no, it won't be possible because up until the point that someone opt-ins, or if you are using an email marketing service that supports the ID identification. So, for example, for MailChimp, if you send an email campaign and they go to your website, we can detect the name. But Facebook doesn't give this kind of information for privacy reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Sergiu, is there anything else you want to show how to use Personalizely on e-commerce site, or do you think it's time to slowly wrap it up?
I think there are like a lot more things you can do with Personalizely on e-commerce. It just the limits is your imagination, but I think it's quite enough for now because people
For
have
demonstration
and try this out and help to not feel their head too much. So I think that's good for now. And actually, you can go to our blog where you can see a few more tips and examples of how you can use personalization for e-commerce. So just go to personalizely.net/blog and see more there. Yep.
Amazing. Thanks a lot. It was really, really cool. All right. So before we will wrap it up, I want to remind you that the deal is still going on pitchground.com/Personizely, and you can grab it for like really good price. I believe it's like 95% off if you be paying like normally, which is amazing, and you can choose from many licenses and many options. It's really up to you. And of course, we'll be going live every single day from this week. And we will be talking about a lot of interesting stuff. For example, how you can use website personalization when it comes to SaaS, or how to boost your mobile conversions. We'll be uncovering some growth hacks and so on with website personalization, because as you see, there's like limitless options of what you can do with Personizely, and I really believe that we just scratched the surface, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, I believe there was a lot of interesting content in this webinar. Another webinars next days won't be any different. Feel free to watch this webinar again. It will be available on Facebook and on the page you actually registered. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining, and we'll see you the same time tomorrow on Zoom or on the Facebook page. And don't forget to grab the Personizely license. It's pitchground.com/Personizely. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining, guys. It was amazing.
Thank you, Jakub, and thank you everyone for watching. It was a pleasure, and just can't wait to show you more of Personizely.
Yeah, amazing.